Yeah. So as part of our Informatica and Intelligent Cloud Services training, first thing what we need to do is we need to ensure, we need to have the secure agent installed. So how do you install a secure agent? You have to sign up to a free trial account. You just go to Google and, type for Informatica Cloud Data Integration free trial. And when you type this, you'll be getting a URL where you can provide your details. You just get this form to fill up, and you need to provide your details, like you're a developer and you not give your work email. You can have your Gmail ID and just select your role. Phone number can be anything randomly. It's a free account, so you just provide your details here, and just select North America. Just check these two boxes. Click on start your free trial. So when you click on this, you'll be getting a mail trigger to your Gmail ID. You have to activate it, and you'd be getting a UI where you need to log into that UI. You need to update your password. Once you update your password, you'll be getting a UI to log in, and you'll be getting different services here like administrator, data integration, monitor, and operational insights. Okay. So the first thing what we need to do is we need to go to administrator, and you need to download your secure agent. Click on download secure agent, copy the install token, and click on download. So this would download your Windows 64 secure agent, and you can have a path created in your local directory. It can be anywhere, it can be somewhere in your D drive. It can be in your D drive. You can have a directory called secure agent. You just provide this path, and you can install it. This is clear. Any questions from anyone on this?
No. So after going to this path, so we need to just install it. Click something. What we need to click here?
Yeah. So after going to this path, you need to actually, once you download the secure agent, it would prompt you to provide your path. I've
Okay.
already done this. So once you do this, you just have to provide this path. Just click on next, and you can
Okay.
install your secure agent.
Okay. Got it.
You can do it right away while on the class itself, so that I can assist you, while doing this. But as part of this training, what you need to do is you need to have your Oracle 19C installed, and I'll be sending you the flat files. I can send you the flat files for practice, and you also need to enroll to a free trial account for Snowflake and your own personal AWS account. Okay. Yeah. So I hope some of you were part of my demo session, right? Have you attended my demo session? Any one of you have attended my demo session last week?
If possible, can you send a text like what all we need to install? You said Snowflake, this Informatica Cloud, and what else? Oracle. What did you say?
One moment. I'll just give you those details. Just a minute. I'll just put it in the chat here. You can just pick it up from here.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. So what you need is you need to install 19C. I gave you a link for you to refer on the steps that are needed to install your 19C version on your Windows machine. And you can create a schema. For example, Inpa data is a schema. I can provide you the sample schema and flat files. I'll be giving you the flat files for practice. And also, you need to sign up to a Salesforce account, a free trial Salesforce account, and you need to have good understanding on the SQL queries. And if you are from Power Center background, right? Anyone of you are from Power Center background?
I am.
Okay. So that would be an added advantage, for you to learn ISDS, because the functionality is all derived from Power Center. And you also need to have a free trial Snowflake account and your personal AWS account. Okay. So I can assist you in this installation. If you are stuck somewhere, I can help you how to do it, and we can plan accordingly. So anyone needs any assistance right away on the call, so that we can do it on the call, and it would be helpful for everyone. You want to install secure agent? Okay. Okay. So, I mean, to get started, right, you need to have these things installed, and we can get started with this training. So let me bring up my PowerPoint, slide. Maybe you were not part of the demo session, so I'll have to just give you a brief idea about IICS. What are the components? What is IPaaS? So IICS stands for Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. We have different components of Informatica Cloud, and terminologies. I'll be discussing about architecture, what is an IPaaS solution, and we'll discuss about runtime environment, securation, and how to get started. That is the agenda. So Informatica Cloud, as a definition point of view, it's a complete platform for cloud integration and data management. So this is going to provide you one time, one stop solution for your data integration and real time needs. So you will be able to integrate multiple sources. You'll be able to, actually connect different applications. You can access it from any machine with internet access. All you need is you need to have your browser, and you can access your application. Your browser connects to the services through a secure HTTP protocol. Okay, and this is on an integration platform as a service. The solution is if on the iPaaS model. What is an iPaaS model? This is a suite of cloud services for you to do your development, and you can execute and governance of your flows connecting to different sources. It can be on-premise or cloud-based. You can connect to different services, applications, and data across multiple organizations. So when I say organization, right, your when you enroll to a free trial account, when you go to the administrator service, you'll see that there is an organization overview, which means that, for example, if you take an example of Walmart, right? Walmart is an organization. Now, organization can have, a specific organization ID. It can have different environments like production, QA, development, sandbox. Can have different environments, and you can have organization authentication. What is a password length and all that? Connection credentials, and you can have different failure, success, and warning email notifications that you can set it up. So this is based on uh, clear recommendation references. What is clear? Clear recommendations are a standard recommendations that would provide on the best practices, how to have your data flow in your integration. During your data integration, while building your data integration templates, there are few recommendations provided by Clear. Okay. So iPaaS model. iPaaS model is something, where you can access it from any machine, and you can have the toggle switch. What is this toggle switch? You can toggle around different services. For example, I'm in my administrator service, right? For example, I want to go to data integration where I want to do some design. I want to do some development. I can just right click and open in a new browser, right? A new tab. And also I can open in a new tab for monitor to view my jobs that are running. So I can do the toggle. I just click on this arrow. I'll be able to see all the services. These are part of my free trial account. You understand? Any questions on this? Okay,
So
I'll
you were
just,
supposed to join by last. Am I audible?
yeah, tell me.
No, no. So before that, it's no in the previous training session we were joined, but it's no unable to. No, we didn't get to join the whole stuff. Like it's no, we created the new accounts. So like we started and we stopped somehow. So
Okay,
just 2 to 3 days of classes we were attended. So
mm,
later it was stopped, and so we created the accounts, Informatica Cloud accounts and all. So
okay.
so what?
That, that's,
So if 1 month is over, then the accounts are going.
yeah, so after 1 month,
So what shall we do?
you can do one thing, after 1 month, you can re-register to the same cloud account, or you need to sign up to a different user, the same email ID, That is how I was telling about, when you sign up to a free trial account, do not check this box. Okay, you always have to uncheck this box, because do not use your email address as your username. You can have something like dev1 or dev2 or test user, and the same mail ID can be used even after 30 days.
Oh,
When you enroll to a free new account again after 30 days, you can have dev2 with the same email ID. Okay, you understood? So you need to uncheck this
yeah,
box.
yeah, got it.
So again, we need to create the same thing, but we need to give a different username. That's it, right? After one
Right,
month.
right. After 1 month, you have to uncheck this box. I mean, not after 1 month. In the first instance itself, when you sign up to the free trial account, do not use your mail ID as your username. This you have to uncheck this box, and
Mhm.
then provide your mail ID. Sorry, your user ID, dev1 or test user, whatever name that you want to put. Then when you sign up to this will be valid for 30 days, and after 30 days, you can enroll to one more account with test user 2. That's a test user 2, and you can sign up to that account again, because I keep
Okay.
using the same Gmail ID again and again. I've been using for multiple batches the same mail ID. I've been using it. Okay,
So whatever we created in the previous user ID will be able to see those, use those mappings,
you can
or it
you
will
can
be new.
export. Yeah, before the license expires, right? What you can do is you can export the entire code. How do you
Okay.
export it? I'll tell you that how to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So as part of a free trial account, you have to install all this, and you just need to click on runtime environments, click on download secure agent, and this is going to give you two options. One is to download Windows or Linux, but the platform that we are working is Windows, since we are working on our personal laptop, right? So you just copy the install token, and you can download the secure agent. Once you download the secure agent, you'll be able to see this services up and running after some time, because this is going to download all the necessary packages that are required for you to make sure that your jobs are up and running. So these are different services like data integration server, mass ingestion, common integration components, and OI data collector. Okay. So data integration is something, this is the service where you have your folders, you have your projects. For example, I created a project called IICS training web batch. Okay. I created a folder called this one, and this is a project. And then I created a folder called training. Under the training folder, I've created a mapping called demo underscore customer data load. This is a flat file that I've loaded. This is called mapping canvas. What is this called? This is called mapping canvas, where I'll have different shapes. When I click on new mapping, I'll be getting source and target. Okay. And in the source and target, I can just configure my sources. I need to create connections before I come to source. I have to create a flat file connection. I need to create Oracle connections. I have my Oracle instance running on my laptop, right? So I've also created a Oracle connection. I'll tell you about it all this when you enroll and when you sign up to a free trial account. So is this clear so far? Any questions from anyone? So something on the cloud terminologies. We have your add-on connector, administrator, agent. These are some terminologies you get to hear a lot. So a quick comparison, between Power Center and IICS. So in Power Center, you have a mapping, and in IICS, you also have a mapping. To be able to run this, when you run the mapping, Power Center can't run a standalone. No, right? You can't run a standalone mapping. But in IICS, you can run the mapping. Okay. And in Power Center, you have a session where you configure a session, you assign a mapping to the session, and you can can run the session. Uh, you assign a workflow, but in IICS you have a task, or it's called mapping configuration task. It's also called MCT. And in Power Center you have a workflow. In IICS we have a task flow. And in Power Center you have a domain where you have different nodes attached to it. In IICS we have a org. We have different organization, and you have secure agent who called, which is a domain, similar like a domain functionality. You can have multiple secure agents. This is the basic difference here. So moving on to the next topic, about architecture. So uh, if I talk about architecture, right, how does architecture would work? If you look at
Hey,
my,
Ashok,
yeah,
Arun, yeah.
yeah,
Can you share the screen in full screen mode, because so we are in the go to meeting, and go to meeting again you are sharing your screen. Still we are unable to see
I
that.
can, no, I've just tried and done the full screen. Can you see it now?
Yeah, still people are there. Is there any option to?
No, I have done the full screen now. Would you be able to see it now?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Uh, so when I discuss about architecture, right, you have a user, we have a we have a web client, where a user logs into a machine and he performs, he does a design and administration. And you have a customer managed secure agent, which is your Windows machine or a Linux machine. And you can manage your data, on-premise data or applications like your Oracle instance or your SQL Server, right? So what does it do? He So if you look at this, there is a user who logs in this machine, and when he logs into the machine here, he provides his credentials, and he is going to do the design and administration. And there is a firewall, which is sitting beside the organization. There is a firewall, so the only the metadata gets exchanged to Informatica Cloud Services, Informatica hosted multi-tenant repositories. What is a multi-tenant repository? Multi-tenant repositories are your repositories which are hosting. It is based on microservices architecture, which are hosting your metadata of the company. It is not hosting the actual data, they host the metadata. So you have a front end and microservices, which are when you exchange the data, when you perform some design or development, or you do some administration, whatever the development that you do, right? The data that is getting loaded in terms of the logs or the data, it's not the actual data that is getting stored, it's a metadata that gets stored in Informatica Cloud Repository. Okay. And similarly, on the right side, if you see, there is a business data where you can even connect to external applications like your LinkedIn, Marketo, Salesforce, or any other applications. Okay. So any questions on this? Any questions on this from anyone?
Can
Have you
can
understood the
you
architecture?
can you repeat what you said? I did not understand. Sorry.
Okay. See, you as a user, right? You log into a machine. You have a web browser. You log into a machine, and this is a web client. You can see in the bottom a
Yeah.
user validates his identity and logs into a web client. And then what does he do? He does the development. He imports the sources. He does some transformations and loads the data into Target. Okay. He also does some administration work, with respect to installing secure agent or checking the logs or, doing some kind of activities within the organization's firewall. Okay. You understood? And this is
Yeah.
being done This is being done using a customer managed secure agent, which is installed on a Windows machine. And what is this secure agent storing? It is storing the encrypted data of your connections, of your logs, encrypted data of your connections in the sense like the connections that are required for you to read the data, read and process the data. For example,
Mm.
you want to connect to a flat file or you want to connect to an Oracle instance. How do you connect to it? There should be a communication, right? There should be a communication between a secure agent and your Oracle instance
Mm.
so that it can import the table, it can read the table data, and it can load the data into target. You understand?
Mhm.
So that's how the customer managed secure agent would work. And similarly, when you do this, when you perform this, if you're looking at the dotted lines, there is a firewall. The firewall which is protecting your customer data. Okay, it doesn't allow you to transfer the actual data. It is only transferring the metadata into Informatica managed cloud repository. It is managed by the vendor. How are they managing it? They are managing using microservices. They're based on microservices architecture. They are having multi-tenant repositories, which are storing the metadata into their multi-tenant repositories. And similarly, they also handle the business data like your Marketo or your LinkedIn or any other Amazon, Redshift and all that, right? Whatever data coming from cloud applications. So now, if you look at this, Informatica Cloud services are hosted in a repository. Okay, there is a repository which is a centralized repository, which is hosted at Informatica vendor. We can't directly access it. How do we access it? That's a different topic. Which I'll be able to explain it to you later. Now, if you look at the brick, right, the red color brick, which is a firewall, which is machine with your web browser or with your internet access. You can perform administration, design, configuration, and maintenance. Okay, and there are different cloud applications and platforms with your secure agent. You have your company secure agent and all that. So this is an expanded version of uh, the same thing what I explained to you, like local files or databases, machine with your internet access, and you have your metadata that is getting exchanged to Salesforce or so this is how the data gets exchanged. Fine. So when we talk about components, right, we have different components like cloud, hosting facility, runtime environment, and agent. Okay, so you have this cloud hosting facility, runtime, and agent. So what are this? These are your different components where you need these agents to run your jobs. So I just explained to you about local secure agent. Why do we need a secure agent? Because we need to ensure the data is being you know we should be able to connect to a secure agent for us to ensure that the data is being read or the data is being processed. Even if it is a case of a flat file or an Oracle connection or a SQL Server connection within your organization, you should be able to create a connection to it first. Without a connection, you can't do anything. Okay. Now, if I talk about the security model, how the security model would work, you have your data center infrastructure security and ISDS platform security, where the security model is based on role-based access control. What is a role-based access control? We have different identities in the organization. Like you have an admin who's also a super user, would be having all the privileges and permissions. Like he does a security, he installs a security agent, he ensures the license are taken care, he performs all the functionalities to make sure the application is up and running. And also designer is like you have multiple designers who performs their development activities. They run the tasks, they create the jobs, they run the task flows, processes, And you also have a service consumer role, a kind of an operator role where he does the API-based executions, monitors the job results. So these are different role-based access controls which are in ISEs. Okay. Any questions on this from anyone? Okay. So moving on, like I just told you
Can you
about
please explain service consumer once again?
service consumer is a role. So it's a role in ISEs. Okay. See, it's one of the role where you need to they perform some API based executions. API based executions is like API stands for application programming interface. Okay, and he also does some job results. He for example in real time, right? You have an API, which is a different topic. I'll explain it to you later. But when you see about role based access controls, this is how you have different roles assigned. You have a single admin, you have multiple designers, you also have multiple service consumers. Okay, so this is how you have a different user roles that are refined. How do you see these user roles? If you go to the admin console, right? You see when you click on users, or when you see that there are users, user groups, and you also have user roles. Okay, so when I go to user role, right? You have all these default user roles that are created here. If you look at this service consumer. So what is a service consumer? What does a service consumer do? The role, it's a role actually. If you look at this, he can read the folder. Okay, he can read the project. He can schedule a job, schedule blackout, schedule a job securation. He performs limited functionalities as an administrator. But when you talk about, let's say, data integration, right? If you just select data integration, what else he can do? He can run all this. Okay, he can only read it. You understand? He can run all these things, mapping tasks, power center tasks. He can do a lot of things, but he can only run them. He can't do much about it. He can read, or he can run. He or she can read or
That
run.
is that is kind of a subset of designer when it comes to privileges, right?
Correct,
So the
correct. Yeah,
one who is a designer need not have that.
correct. See, if he's a designer, if he or she is a designer can perform different services at different levels. These are the assets. You see, you talk about data integration here. As a designer, what he can do, he can perform a lot of things. Okay, he can run, he can create, read, update, delete, run, set permissions. These are the different levels that are being given. He can create a mapping, he can delete a mapping, he can run a mapping, he can set permissions, he can do all these things. This is how you can define things at a org level. This is all controlled by an admin. Okay, so that's how the
Yeah,
role-based access controls will work. Understood?
yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
yeah. Now, if I go back to the console again, right? When you have to get started, to get started, what do you need? You need to perform these functionalities. You need to sign up to a free trial account, and then install secure agent and download and configure your connectors. Okay. So can we do it on the call right now? So if anyone is willing to do it, probably I can help you out with the installation so that we can get started from tomorrow. You can complete. If anyone is having issues, probably I can just help them out to install the security. Anyone would like to do it? I can. Maybe you can just share your screen and you can do it. Any one of you, Bona or Nandini, Sunil, Venu.
So it shows that the share is not enabled.
Okay, I can give you the access. Share.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm making you the presenter. You can share your screen.
Uh, Arun, I'm sorry, I want to know. I don't know whether this is the right place to ask. How many classes and which all days we have classes? Do you have any idea?
No, this is the first day of the class. We haven't started yet. I wanted
Uh-huh.
to make it. We had a demo session There were few people who have joined. I'm not sure if they're part of this training right now, but we
Uh-huh.
have decided to start our sessions from today onwards. But again, if you need an additional day, that is absolutely fine. We just wanted to make sure everyone is installing the secure agent before we get started with the training. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
I
the
got
training
it.
is Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday to
Monday to
Friday morning IST time. I would suggest 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. That would work for everyone. That would be great. And
So
we are trying to complete it in 4 weeks. Yeah,
4 weeks. Okay.
yeah.
mo- what are the timings? Monday to Friday morning 7:30 to
7:30 to 8:30 is what I am looking at.
That
7:30
works
to
for
8 or
me.
7:30 to 9?
7:30 to 8:30, 1 hour.
8:30. Okay, so not the today's time. So today we started little late, am I right?
Yeah, today we started at 8 o'clock, but I wanted to check everyone's comfort on this. Accordingly, we can modify the time so that we can continue from tomorrow at 7:30.
I vote for 7 to 8. Let me know if others choice rather than 7:30 to 8.
Yeah, 7 to 8 is also fine for me because I wanted to finish the morning time, but I want to check if everyone is available. Then we are good to go.
So
Please let me know.
7 means, yeah, means, yeah. So see, basically, I am in Mac. I am
Or
unable
I'll
to.
do one thing. I'll leave it to the organizer to just verify with everyone, and then probably they can come back to me. Else we can continue at 8 o'clock if it doesn't work for others. Okay, we'll see that.
Yeah,
I'll have to reach out to you. Uh, so
yeah.
Sunil, you want to share your screen? Yeah.
No, no.
So that
Basically, no, no. See, I am in. It's my Mac. I am unable to share my cloud. Actually, I am using the Azure cloud to set up my box and everything, which I am unable to do. I'll find out
okay.
the ways of system and all. I'll come back on that tomorrow. See, even basically, I created an account, but that's I so secure agent we didn't do that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
fine. That is fine.
Yeah.
We can
Even
do it.
we know that it's set up and all. So even that's even cloud account also I do have some issues. No, I was unable to install the SQL developer. I was able to install the Oracle 21C, and it's the respective JDK whichever we were using for that. The respective JDK is JDK 17 for that. But when we install the JDK 17, SQL developer was unable to install. These are the interlocking things. So I struggled a lot. So that's what I'm finding my Windows machine somewhere. I'll use that. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
come.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So just for the benefit of everyone, I'll just quick, I'll just tell you the topics that would be covered for this entire 4 weeks. You know, uh, I'm sharing my screen again. You can see my screen, right? What I will be covering this as part of data integration. We have different modules where we'll be discussing about, cloud overview, runtime environments. I'll be helping you with the runtime setup, and we'll be navigating through the log files. We'll create connections, connection types, like creating a Salesforce connection, flat file, Oracle connection, right? In terms of, for example, if I go to my administrator service, right? Administrator service. If I go to connections, I have already created a couple of connections, which are my flat file connection and my Oracle connection. Let's say if I go to my Oracle connection, what do I need for my Oracle connection? For Oracle, I need my 19C to be installed on my laptop, right? I need to have my 19C. Oracle 19C is installed. I have a schema that I have with the sample data, which I was able to do it. Once I provide all these details, I just need to click on test connection, and my secure agent will establish a connection to my Oracle. It will communicate with Oracle, and you should be getting a prompt. The connection is successful, right? So you'll be getting this prompt on the top. So that's how I'll be helping you out with the Salesforce connection, and you can also create a Snowflake connection and also AWS connection. In fact, for Snowflake and AWS, we'll be covering one scenario, and we'll discuss about synchronization tasks. What are the different steps of synchronization, uh, replication task, power center task, and power center If anyone can provide me a valid XML, I can just give you that how to import a Power Center task. We can do that. And also some transformations at a basic level, like expression, joiner, filter, source properties, lookup, field rules, best practices, and aggregator, normalizer, maplet, parser, transaction control, sequence generator, and we also have the advanced topics. Uh, like we'll discuss about macros, expression macros using dynamic linking, and and dynamic linking, and also mapping parameters and variables, hierarchy parser, hierarchy builder transformations, how to create task flows. So all these things would be covered in the training, including REST API. How do you log in? How do you perform some activities? How do you invoke a mapping task through Postman? So these are the topics that would be covered in next 4 weeks. Any questions from anyone?
Can you ask to share this content, organizer of this course?
Yeah,
That
sure, sure. I'll ask to share this content.
yeah, that will be more helpful for us.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So please provide your details, and everyone, just make sure that if you are comfortable with 7 to 8, I can continue with 7 to 8. Okay, 7 to 8. I need a confirmation from everyone. If 7 to 8 works for everyone, let's have the batch start at 7 to 8 tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay. So please confirm to the organizer, and they'll be sending you the details around this course. And we will be starting the training from tomorrow. I would expect all of you to complete your secure agent installation. Okay, it doesn't take much time. It will take hardly around half an hour to complete your secure agent. Please refer to my demo video. If you have not seen the demo video, you can ask the organizer. They can send you the demo video how to install secure agent, how to configure the same steps what I just explained to you today in this class, right? Today's session, whatever the steps that I gave you, how to enroll to a free trial account, you can do it the same similar way. Okay, that's about it. And let's meet up at 7 a.m. tomorrow if everyone is fine with it.
Yes.
Any more questions before I wind up for today? Before I close the call today?
I'm good. Thank
Oh, okay, thank you all. Thanks for joining, and let's meet up again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.